videos. I sent out 2 handouts on how to get to my videos. I'm not even going to address that. I have 7 people in this class that are way behind on homework. I have 3 people in this class that hasn't even started. What did I tell y'all to read even before class started? One of my emails said, if you want to get started early, what should you do? Anybody remember that? Out of the 1 or 2 people that read the emails? Anybody? I told you to read chapters what? Or I told you the first week of class. Read chapters 5 and what?
6.
I told you to read it because a lot of chapter 5, I think it was chapter 5 in here. A lot of chapter 5 is nothing but reading. And all you had to do was read it and go through and do the homework. I have people that have not done the homework on chapter 5. And they are going to, they're going to write me an email. I can go ahead and tell you what they're going to do. They're going to write me an email that says they forgot. Or they're going to write me an email that says that their house exploded and the grandma died. And then after the grandma died, the house fell in and the 5 flat tires on the car hit. I'm not going to extend the homework. You've had 4 weeks, 4 solid weeks, and a Tuesday and a Thursday. I mean, a Thursday and a Friday. So technically you've had 4.5 weeks to do 3 sections of homework, or 2 sections, 2 chapters, 6 sections. So I'm going to go ahead and tell the 7 people that, or the 3 people that haven't even started, and the 7 people that are behind. And I'm doing this in every one of my classes this week because every one of my classes is hitting that first unit test. And the 5 or 6 that are way behind, they're going to start doing their little, pity party. I'm not going to extend it. Does everybody understand what I just said?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm just telling you. Now, I do know of a couple of people that work 40-hour weeks, and I'm not exactly talking to you because you've at least started it. I'm talking to the 10% of every class that always waits till the last minute. And they always call me and say, the dog died, the cat's sick, grandmother died 5 times, all this stuff. You've had 4 weeks. I told you the first day of class to start reading chapter 5. Everybody should be on task. If you're on chapter 6 material, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people that haven't finished chapter 5 yet and haven't even started chapter 5. All right, now that's done. Now, I'm going to hurry up and I'm going to get to the point because I am presenting. Can y'all see my screen or am I presenting? Okay, I guess y'all ain't going to say
I
nothing.
can't see it.
All right, I'm going to present now. And I had all the notes pulled up and everything today. I guess from now on, when I get to the Anderson campus, I'm going to have to reboot whatever system I'm using. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the, Ms. Gill, what was the last thing I covered in here? Did I cover 5-number summary?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, good. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the spreadsheet and we're going to do a quick problem. And I want everybody to do it. Did we do n is odd and n is even? Did we do an example of n equals 12 and n equals 13 or something like that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to pick one out of the air and I'm going to say n is equal to 12 or 13, Ms. Gill, since you're the only one that'll talk to me. 12 or 13?
12.
12. All right. 21, y'all go ahead and write these down. 22, I already had this done before class started. 23, 25, 27, 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 32. Okay, now I want everybody to get their notebooks set up, and I want you to find everything. Mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, standard deviation, and 5-number summary. If I did show you the empirical rule and the box plot, I'm going to do that again today just to make sure. If I hadn't covered it, then you're going to see it today. So I'm going to go ahead and make this bigger for you. There you go. And I'm going to make these a little bit wider. Make that a little bit bigger. Okay, get started on it. I need to see grids. I can't see grids. I hope y'all don't mind if I darken the grids a little bit. Is that better for you? Mean?
Yes, sir.
Median? Mode? Now remember, when I do all of this, I'm doing 6A and 6B and probably a little bit of 6C. Because the only thing I've got left to cover in this class is Z-scores. So I'm just telling you that. Median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, and standard deviation. And the 5-number summary, we'll put that right here. 5-number summary. That's going to be min, first, second. I had all of this set up before class started. Third. And the reason I couldn't save it is because they have deep freeze on this computer. And when you restart it, it wipes the hard drive clean. So anything you save, it's gone. So it wouldn't have done me any good to save it. I should have saved it on your file, but I just didn't. I was so aggravated I didn't even do it. All right, the min, I'm going to go ahead and do the min and the max because everybody should be able to do that. I'll even color it for y'all. Can anybody tell me what the second quartile is with the 5-number summary?
26.
I mean, no, not the number. What is it? It's also the what?
Median.
Median, good. So you were the one that wrote it down. Good job. Okay, give y'all a couple of minutes. I like to give everybody good time to do it. Now, while you're working and while we're talking, let me tell you something. You've got probably this is one question. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've got about 4 or 5 test questions here. There is not a single question on the test that makes you go through and do all of this on one question. Then why do I do this? If there's not a test question like this, where I asked you for all of this, and then I asked you for all of this, why do I make y'all do this?
So we know how to do it.
So you know how to do all of it, exactly. I don't just pick questions and say, okay, do this and do that. It'll be on the test. No, I show you everything because you can't interpret the numbers if I only show you 2 of them. I got to show you how they all work together. Unless I just want to teach you to regurgitate. Okay, the mean is green. Median is green. Mid-range is green. And they are all indicators of what? Starts with a C. What are the greens indicators of? Starts with a C. E?
Center.
Center. That's why they colored green. And the mid-range goes with the 5-number summary. And I'll color that green. Give you a couple more seconds. I hope y'all are working. Yeah, the rain delay on NASCAR opened it up so I could watch the rest of the golf tournament that was on, so I got to watch that. Okay, so no golf fans or NASCAR fans in here. Because if you were a true NASCAR fan or golf fan, you would have said something. I'm just not going to connect with this group at all. What'd you say, Miss Gill?
Both of those sports make me sleepy. I remember my dad would like put it on so he could take a nap.
Well, yeah, they're hard to, but I love watching them. And plus, they're about the only 2 sports that got good sense. I don't watch the other professional sports. They can go to hell for all I care.
I mean, NASCAR is pretty cool, but I don't know.
Yeah. Somebody say something?
Do you think Spieth will ever win?
Do I think who?
Jordan Spieth will win again?
I tell you the truth, that poor guy.
I felt bad for him.
He just, I don't know if he just comes unraveled or what. Bless his heart.
Do you play golf or do you just watch it?
I play at it. Kind of like I play the guitar. I play at it. I'd do anything to go back to high school. I would have told the football team to go jump in a lake, and the wrestling team and all that, and I would have been on the golf team. And I would have studied more because I would have been on the golf team and I would have studied more instead of doing all that other crap. So you get a chance to be on the golf team and the chess team, take it. Stay away from all the other stuff because all it's going to do is drain you. Study time, that is. All right, so here we go. I'm going to find the mean, and the mean is the summation of all of these numbers divided by 12. There's your mean. Median, since n is even, it's going to be the 2 middle numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be these 2 guys, and you got to take the average of those 2 numbers. So equal parentheses, 27 plus 25 divided by what? 2. Mode, I really don't care about. I think it's 22, isn't it?
Yes.
If you miss the mode on the test, don't tell anybody because they'll probably back away from you slowly because they're scared something might rub off on you. You should not miss the mode. Equals 32 minus 21. Mid-range is equal to 32 plus 21, or 21 plus 32. Addition is commutative, so it doesn't matter. Variance, I'm going to take x minus x bar equals this number minus that number, F4. And that's going to be those numbers. And this is going to be that number squared. And copy that down. I had all of this done. So frustrating. Sum of all those numbers is the numerator for the variance. And you're going to divide that by 11. And there's your variance. And what is the relationship between the standard deviation and the variance? That's a cue. I want you to say something.
Standard deviation is the square root of variance.
Thank you. And to answer your question, Mr. Chadman, we haven't started 6C yet. So that may be why it's a little bit tough for you. We haven't started it. Okay? We've done a little bit of it, but not much. Z-scores, I haven't even covered yet. I just saw that chat request, so that's why I wanted to address it. Well, I'm trying to get my mouse back over to the other screen. This works out so much better at home. And I've got 3 monitors at home. Equals this raised to the 0.5 power. And that is your standard deviation. All right? So let's find our first quartile. Well, where is the median? The median is right here where my white cross is. See that white cross? In fact, I'm going to put a blue line right there. Let's see if the whiteboard works. It does with the mouse. I'm going to take a red line, a yellow line, and I'm going to put a yellow line where the median is. No, not a yellow line, a magenta line. There's the median. Okay, that's 26 right there. How many numbers are above that magenta line? Somebody count for me. Well, it went away. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is 6 odd or even?
Even.
It's even. So I'm going to find the middle 2 numbers. And that's going to be, I'm going to average those together, and that's going to be my what? First quartile, Hubert. That's right, class. Good job. Appreciate the interaction. 22 plus 22 divided by 2. Now, I've got a degree, all my teeth, most of my teeth, and I got running water in my house. I know that the average of 22 and 22 is 22. Okay? Then why did I go through and do that? Because you have to get used to doing that, because those 2 numbers are not always going to be what? The same. I always have some student that says, why do you do that? We know. Shut up. All right. So anyway, change that to yellowish color. And that'll be that color right there. And equals 28 plus 29 divided by 2. All right. Who's got questions on any of that?
Can you hear
Any
me?
questions? Now, I'm going to show you a trick I learned in the war. I want everybody to get their handy dandy calculators out. Get your handy dandy calculator out. And I'm going to put my calculator right on the left, and I'm going to put this on the right. Okay, now I want everybody to make sure you got your calculators out, everybody? Anybody I need to wait on?
I got mine out.
Okay. Anybody still getting theirs out, turning it on? All right. First thing I want you to do, I want you to go to second, 0. And I want you to go down to the D's, arrow down to the D's to display. Is it I'm sorry, not display. Diagnostic. I want you to put your arrow beside diagnostic on, hit enter, and hit enter. Has everybody got that? Anybody behind? I'm sorry, what, Miss Gill?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Anybody else need to go through it again? Now what that does is that makes your display on your calculator show everything that it can show. All right, hit clear. And this is how you input data in a graphic calculator if you've never done it before, which there are people that have never done this before. Hit the button stat, write it down as we go. Stat, edit, and there's your spreadsheet right there. Now, if you want to clear one of your spreadsheets, you go up to the L1, highlight the L1 and hit clear and enter. If you need to do L2, you go up to L2, hit clear and enter. Do not hit delete. If you hit delete, you delete the whole column and then it'll say L1 and L3 and that'll drive some of y'all crazy. So don't do that. Now I'm going to type in 21. Y'all do the same. 21 down arrow or enter. 22. 22. 22. 23. 25. This is hard to do with a mouse, so leave me alone. 27, 27. 28, 29. 30, 32. And I'll wait and give y'all a couple of seconds to finish that out. I'm going to count mine just to make sure. 1, okay, I've got 12 in there. It's got a little 12. See it right there in parentheses? But I'm going to count just to make sure because I don't want to depend on a calculator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 21 is 12. Okay. So all of those numbers are in there. Everybody got them in there? Okay. Now, hit stat, calculate, first variable statistic. And it automatically reads the L1 column. You just hit calculate. And there is your information. Now, let's talk about what it gives you. X bar. Somebody tell me what X bar is.
The mean.
Mean.
That's your mean, so let's check it. 25.67. Look at there. It's a miracle. Where's the standard deviation? Standard deviation is SX. Now, I would do a word association with SX right there, but I'm not, because somebody will be offended because they have no personality or sense of humor. So SX, we just say is SX. And that's standard deviation, 3.6729. 3.6729, look at there. Now, if your diagnostic is on, it'll show the rest of it, which is your 5-number summary. Look at there. There's your 5-number summary. Let's check the 5-number summary. 21, 22, 26, 21, 22, 26, 28.5, and 32. How you like that? Whatever. So you can do all of that work that you learned how to do by hand, you can do it with the calculator. Now, do you appreciate the calculator a little bit more?
Yes, sir. Could you show, can you show it one more time from going to the table and then to the information?
Yes. Okay, so hit stat, arrow over to calculate, first variable statistic, enter. It automatically goes to L1. So if you put your information in L sub 2, it's not going to work. So you got to change it, and that's the L1. Look above the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how you change to L1 and L2. You hit second and 2 if you wanted to go to L2. All right, but you don't need to change it if you put all your numbers in L1 and hit calculate. Now, does your calculator give you the mode, the median, mode, range, mid-range? Does it give you that? No. So you still have to find the median, the mode, the range, the mid-range, and you can find the variance by taking 3.676 and raise it to the second power. That's how you get the variance. So the only thing that you can't find, or is not on the calculator, is these 3, 4, right? 3, no, 4. So you need to make a note of that. I'll color these a little bit of a red color. Those 4 right there are the ones that are not on the calculator. But it helps you out, doesn't it?
Yes, by a lot.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, by a lot.
Yeah. And you appreciate it now that you know how it finds it. And that's how you find all that information. You find it by hand. And as long as you know how to do it by hand, you'll always appreciate how to do it on a calculator. All right, now I'm going to cover one little thing before we get started. That's the box plot. And I'm going to try to do this with the whiteboard. So let's see if this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Let's try it. All right, so no, it's not working right. But I'll try to do the best I can with it. And the min is 21. The max is 32. Can everybody see it? Can everybody see what I'm drawing?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And the mid-range is 27. Now, when you're doing the number line, it's not rocket science. So you don't need to, worry about decimals when you're doing the number line. You can if you want to. 21 to 27 is 6. Half of 6 is 3. So that's going to be 24 and 30. And you can put a 31.5 right here, 31.5, and then a 28.5. I'm just finding the middle of the middle. 25.5 and 23.5 or 23, whatever. And that is the number line. So the first thing you do is you draw a number line and you divide it into its graduations. How far do you want to take the graduations? I take it as far as I can write between the numbers. And I will not take it to here because I can't write between these numbers right there. So that's as far as I take mine. All right, take a blue marker. A blue marker, 22. 22 is about right in here. A yellow marker, 26. '26 is right in here. And a coral marker, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to do. So we'll just go with orange. And that's 28 or 29. 29 is going to be right in there. And there's your box plot. I usually put mine above the box, the number line, but some people draw it on the number line. And just for those that need it, if I can draw it, since this is not right, I'm going to draw a real small one. And the middle is, what's my mean? 26. And my standard deviation is 4. So that's going to be 30, 34, 38, and 22, 18, and 14. And take your highlighters. And green is going to be 2 standard deviations, which will be these right here. So if you're on a standardized test, and the standardized test gives you the information, and then ask, what is 27? 27 would be normal. Take our handy dandy yellow highlighter, and that is unusual. And that is unusual. So if they asked you about 17 or 35, that would be unusual. And then, of course, the red highlighter, and that would be outside of 3 standard deviations, which would be outliers. So if you had a 13-year-old in the class, that would be an outlier. If you had a 40-year-old in the class, that would be an outlier. Now all of that is 6.1 or 6A, 6B, and a little bit of 6C. So now I'm going to show you what's in 6C that we haven't covered yet. And that is Z-scores. And I had a problem already pulled up before class, before I had to reboot. And it's the LBJ versus Shaq. Lyndon Baines Johnson versus Shaquille O'Neal as far as height. And I'll pull it up here in just a second. X minus X bar over the standard deviation. Write that down. Oops, I'm sorry. That's the wrong parameter to use. That's population. With the X bar, that's sample. It's got to be S. Or X minus mu over standard deviation. So that's the sample and that's population. Remember, on the homework, if you type in, if they say that it's a sample and you push the sigma right here on your answer, it'll mark it wrong. Okay, remember, the sample uses lowercase statistics, which means letters from the alphabet. Population uses Greek letters. So if the directions on the problem of your homework or test problem say population, then your answer is going to be with the Greek letter. If it was the sample, then it's going to be with the alphabetic letter. Okay, let me get back over here. Now, when do you use z-scores? You use z-scores when you're comparing apples to oranges. What do you mean, Hubert? Well, I doubt very seriously that I'm going to be able to pull up that problem again, but let me see if I can find it. I don't even have the internet pulled up. Yeah, I do. I got a few minutes that I can show y'all this. Z-score, LBJ versus Shack problem. Really? I don't know where to find it. Let me type in probability or statistics. Because if you don't type in statistics, you get that person that they try to make out to be the greatest of all time, but not. Here we go. No, that ain't it. We're in the let me see if this is it. No, that's not it. See, that's why I tried to pull it up before class. So I can't find it now. Statistics Z-score, LBJ versus Shack problem. I don't know why I can't find it. Irritates me to death. Okay, well, I'm going to give you an example. Let me just do an example because I ain't got time to try to find it because I had to reboot the computer. So let's just go to the problem directly. I only got 10 minutes. So basically, the problem is going to say something to the effect that LBJ was the tallest president of the modern day era, excluding those presidents before this problem was written. Okay? So, and they say that LBJ was 72 inches tall. LBJ was 72 inches tall. And I'm making these numbers up, so I may be wrong. And that the average for all of the presidents, average, Hubert. I'm sorry, I'm trying to work this thing. It's not right. So I'm having to write 3 or 4 inches over to the right of where the cursor is. So y'all bear with me. The mean of all the presidents is 65 inches, and the standard deviation is 2 inches. Okay? So LBJ was the tallest president before this question was written. It's 72 inches or whatever. I don't know what the number is. You can look it up, Google it, whatever. I don't know. I'm just making up these numbers. And Shaq, at this time, the time the question was written, was one of the tallest players and he still is, with a, I don't know, 83 inches. I'm going to say 83 inches. With a mean in the NBA of 70 inches and a standard deviation of 3 inches. Now, the question asks you, who is relatively taller? I don't know. I don't know. I think it does. I don't know if it's got an E in there or not. Relatively taller. Somebody tell me if it's got an E in it. I can't stand those words that end in E because I never can remember if they drop the E or not. Some of them do, some of them don't. Somebody tell me relatively, do they drop the E?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it. I don't look right, but all right. Now, any redneck with 2 teeth in their head can tell you that Shaq is taller, but that's not what the question's asking. The question is asking who is what? That's a Q
Relatively
again.
taller.
Relatively. What does relatively mean? That means compared to your own population. What is the qualifications for being president of the United States? That's a Q I want y'all to answer.
You
Y'all
have
are
to
trying to figure it out. What?
You have to be at least 35.
You have to be at least 35, right?
Yep. And I think you have to like be a U.S. citizen for
You
at
have to be
least
a natural born U.S. citizen.
for I
Hold
think
on a minute. I'm
15
gonna write an
years.
email. Hold on just a second. What else? No felonies. You can't have murdered somebody. You know, that's good standing. What else? Anything else? What about being tall?
No.
Hold on a second. I'm writing an email to IT. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Doing it on my phone, so. Okay. No. Does anybody know who the shortest president was? Anybody? James Madison. He was like 5'4". Some of you chicks are taller than he was. Some of you are 5'6", 5'4", 5'5", 5'6", 5'7". Okay, who was tallest president? I think now, I don't know. It's between I think Obama and President Trump. I believe both of them were about the same height. Somebody can look it up. What about Truman? I'm sorry, FDR. What was wrong with FDR? How tall was he? Y'all have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
I think
Abraham
Lincoln was
Lincoln the
the
tallest?
I think President Lincoln was the tallest president.
You'll have to Google it because I think Obama or I'm not sure. I want to say Obama's in there, but I may be wrong. But anyway, hey, try to write and see what happens. You can write. I'm talking to him right now. What I asked you about FDR? It's not on the right, and I haven't done anything to it. What is FDR? How tall is he? Well, he was
He's like
standing
6'1",
before he went to
6'2".
presidency, and then he was in the what? Wheelchair. So do you count him being tall as far as standing or in the wheelchair? So height is not a prerequisite to being president of the United States. Is it a prerequisite to go on the left side, and you'll see it really, it's not. It's not centered. And there's some places when you write, it's like this far off. I haven't done anything. All I did was reboot the system and I rebooted the Polycom. I hadn't done anything. Is there a prerequisite for being and? You see what I'm saying? It's very difficult to write like that. I mean, I'm serious. But is there a prerequisite to being tall for being a basketball player? Spud Webb was 5'5". No. But why does the coach find a second grader that's 6 foot tall? Why is he interested in a second grader that's 6 feet tall? Because being a basketball player, a tall basketball player, is a what? Advantage, but it's not a prerequisite. So since it's an advantage, I just wanted you to see what it was doing. Do you have any idea why it's doing that?
I don't know at the moment.
Well, I just wanted to show you.
No problem.
All right. The basketball player has an advantage because he is, taller. So with that being said, you can sit it whatever you want. With that being said, who's the bigger fish in the smaller pond, or who's the small fish in the big pond? And y'all have no idea what I'm talking about. Shaq is a small fish in a big pond. Why? Of course, he's not the smallest fish, but everybody in the National Basketball League, or whatever it's called, are what? At least 6 foot or taller. But who's the big fish in the little pond? The big fish in the little pond is LBJ. Now, plug those into your Z-scores. And I'll do this for you right quick. 72 minus 65 divided by 2. Somebody do that on your calculator. And somebody do this on your calculator. 83 minus 70 divided by 3. Somebody do that on your calculator. Okay, somebody 72 minus 65. What do you get? 7 over 2, which is what? 3.5? Somebody help me out. Anybody even doing it? What do you get?
I got 39.5, but I probably didn't.
I got
72 minus 65.
3.5.
It should be like 7 over 2.
Yeah, I did it together. I didn't put parentheses, so that's probably why.
So what's 7 over 2? 3.5?
Yeah.
Okay. And this board is not right, so just write it down. And what is 83? That's 7 over 3, which is what?
4.3.
4.3? I'm taking your word for it. Wait a minute, 7 over 3?
It was
83. I'm sorry, 83 minus 70 is 13. Okay. Yeah, 4.3. So who is relatively taller? Well, actually, the answer comes out to be LBJ, but in this case, it is Shaq, because I made up the numbers. Why? Because with the Z-score, and I'm going to shut up here in just a second. With the Z-score, and you need to write this down, with a Z-score, if I could draw this since the board is not right. Zero, 1, 2, 3. -1, -2, -3. There is no mean and standard deviation. You use Z-scores, and where is Shaq? Shaq, you said, was what? 4 point what? What was Shaq?
4.3.
4.3 is out here. And where is LBJ? Was he 2.5?
3.5.
3.5, which would be right about here. The further you are outside, the further you are from 0, the more ER you are. So in this case, it's taller. ER, taller. So Shaq would be relatively taller. And that's how you do Z-scores. So we're going to probably spend a little bit more time on Z-scores Wednesday. So that means we're probably going to have a preview or review for the test on Friday. So that means homework's going to be due pretty soon. All right, who has a question on that material? All right, now you should be able to ease on into, and remember, out of this class, I think there's probably 14 of y'all that are on schedule, chapter 6. There are 7 of y'all that aren't. The 14 that are on schedule should be easing on into 6C, and you should be able to address some of the Z-score questions by using that formula that I just gave you. Okay, so if you don't know the formula, it's right there. Okay, X minus X bar divided by the standard deviation. Okay, y'all have a good day, and I'll see y'all Wednesday. Okay,
Okay, you too.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Have a good day.
You too. Everybody have a good day. I have students that haven't even started on homework. And I don't